Hello again, Year 9, and this is a quick video on Lesson 3 from Chapter 10. So it's 10C, it's on balancing equations, it's on page 190 to 191 of your Caboodle textbook, that's book 3A. So previously in the last lesson, 10B, we looked at solving equations. This extends it a little bit further, sort of to look at balancing, and it's a nice lead on from what we did last time, but quite similar in a way. So to start off with, what we have here, we've got a balance. I know that the left hand side is the same as the right hand side, simply because they are balanced. So I can write an equals there. So on the left hand side I've got 2 n's and an 8, and on the right hand side I've got a 22. So I can write that the left hand side is the same as the right hand side. So to do it mathematically, rather than pictorially using a picture, I can write 2n plus 8, that's the left hand side, that must be the same as the right hand side. So I've balanced that equation out. I've said that the left hand side is the same as the right hand side. How can I take that a little step further? Well, I might need to know what each of these n's represent. I'm trying to find out, when I'm solving an equation, I'm trying to work out what n actually is. It could be n, it could be another letter. So in this case, I've got an 8 on this side and a 22 on this side. So a couple of ways to do it. I could take 8 away from both sides, so I could get rid of 8 off this side. If I get rid of 8 off this side, I'm doing 22 subtract 8. That gives me 14. So I could rewrite this in a simpler way and say that 2n is the same as 14. This looks a lot easier to solve than this, so I'm saying to myself 2 times this by what to give 14, so I should get the answer 7. Now, if I've got the answer 7, really good tip to do with algebra is to always check our answer actually works. So if each of these little boxes was 7, I would have on the left here, I would have 7 plus 8. Is the same as the right hand side. The right hand side was 22. Does that work? 7 add 7 is 14. 14 plus 8 is 22. So the left hand side is the same as the right hand side. How else could we have done that? Well, if you go back to your previous lesson or the previous video, we could have worked our way backwards. We could have said here, if I do the opposite, so this is my output, this is what I'm putting in, I could have done 22 subtract 8. That's 14 again, and 14 is 2n, so n is 7. I get the same answer, but remember to check it works. So some of the questions you might see, I've just done a few examples. So 4 bars of chocolate cost £2.40. How much are they each? There's a few ways to do this. I could set it out like this if I like. So I could have a little balance, and I could have 4 blocks on my left and the total cost on the right, which is £2.40. So mathematically, how am I going to write that? Well, each of these bars, I could call them X or N. I've used N before, so we'll use N again. So there's your 4 bars of chocolate. So I can write here 4N equals £2.40. I need to work out what one of them is. So if 4 of them cost £2.40, to get what one of them is, I'm going to do £2.40 divided by 4, which gives me 60p. I can check that works. If I do 60, 60, 60 and 60, I do indeed get £2.40. So it's a nice way to check we're on the right track, we've got the right answer. So just to look at a couple more, I've got here 7x is 35. So that means 7 multiplied by something gives me 35. So again, I could do it this way, or I could think algebraically. It's up to you how you do it. So if I was to do it this long way, I would have 7 of something, and on the right hand side I've got 35. So all I need to do is work out what one of them is. So I'm going to do 35, opposite of multiply. Remember, 7x means 7 multiplied by something to give 35. So I'm going to do 35 divided by 7, and that will give me 5. I can check this going forward. If I do 5 lots of 7, that'll be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. It works again. Last one, a little bit more complicated. I've got 3x plus 4 is 19. So quite like this one, except the difference here is I've got this plus 4. Don't worry about that too much. So I'll just do it down here. So if I draw the left hand side, I've got 3x plus 4. So I'm going to draw 3 little boxes, and I need a plus 4. On the right hand side I've got a 19, and I'm going to call again each of these boxes n. So I'm trying to work out what this n stands for. So I've set up an equation now. Here's my equation, because it's got an equal sign. The left hand side is the same as the right hand side. So what I need to do, I need to work out what one of these n stands for. So my difference here is I've got a plus 4. So what I can do, I can take off 4 from both sides to start off with. So I can remove 4 from here. I need to do the same to the left hand side as the right hand side. So if I remove 4 from the right hand side, I'm doing 19 subtract 4, which is 15. So here I've now got 3n, because I've got 3n 3 times, and the numbers are now only 15 on the right hand side. So 3n must be 15. That means 3 times by something to give 15. So my n must be 5. And let's quickly check that works. So I'm saying that n is 5. So I've got 5, 5, 5. That's 5, 10, 15. 15 add 4 gives me 19. So remember, whenever you're doing these questions, once you've worked out what the unknown is, always put it back in just to check it works. It only takes a minute. So that should be enough for you to be getting on with that exercise now. Again, if there are any problems, please let me know via email, and I will respond to you in due course. Thank you, and have a good day.